Hi, my name's Charlie Smith. I'm editor of the Georgia Straight, and I'm here today to talk about real estate, which is one of the most popular spectator sports in Vancouver because the prices are probably higher than anywhere else in Canada and most areas of North America. Our reporter who covers real estate is Carlito Pablo, and he has a knack for coming up with some amusing stories. And one of them concerns a new reality TV show called Agent Unbreakable. And it features a woman named Layla Yang, who's quite a high profile real estate agent in Vancouver who sells very expensive homes. She has a home currently listed for $38 million on the west side of Vancouver. And this home is actually owned by a student, if you can believe that. But Layla Yang has a new reality TV show which is coming called Agent Unbreakable. And she's a former flight attendant, and it kind of celebrates the life of the rich and famous in Vancouver. But one of the agents who's been advertised as being in the show is named Edward Zhang. And it turns out, Carlito Pablo reported in the Georgia Straight, that Edward Zhang isn't licensed as a real estate agent. That's right. You need to be licensed by the Real Estate Council of British Columbia to buy or sell homes on behalf of clients, and he wasn't. He told Carlito, I have a managing broker's license. So Carlito said, well, why are you putting yourself out as an agent? And he said, that's for entertainment purposes. But there's a serious side to this reality TV show called Unbreakable Agent, because some in the Chinese-Canadian community are concerned that it's going to reinforce stereotypes about the community. The media has been full of stories of rich Chinese immigrants buying real estate, and that's fueled a backlash. We also had a record number of hate crimes against people of Asian ancestry in Vancouver last year, went up 700%, and police have linked that to the pandemic and people being upset about that. So we have a problem in Vancouver with racism against Chinese Canadians, and the reality is there are a great many Chinese Canadians who are low income. And the community's roots in British Columbia were actually based in poverty for many years. The original Chinese first came to the west coast of British Columbia in the 18th century on Meares Island off of Vancouver Island. There has been suggestions they might have come even earlier, but a large number came in the 1800s as the railway was being developed, and many Chinese died who were working on that railway, which was John A. Macdonald's dream of uniting the country. And the Chinese did much of the labor, and it was very dangerous work. Then after the railway was finished, there were moves to restrict immigration. Families were separated for many years, and Vancouver had a large working class Chinese population for many years. So now we flash forward to 2021, and Layla Yang is coming out with this show that is basically all about money, and there are concerns in Vancouver that may prompt a backlash against Chinese Canadians and reinforce some of the problems that we've had in the past year. So we'll see where this goes. It might not be a success. It might be a success. And we have seen more representation of Asian Canadians in Canadian entertainment, and I think a lot of people have welcomed that with shows like Kim's Convenience, but I'm not sure that Agent Unbreakable fits that objective in the eyes of some. So that's one real estate story that Carlito Pablo's been covering in the Georgia Straight. Another one that's quite interesting is a home on the west side of Vancouver, that's the wealthy side, on Arbutus Street, and it recently sold for $2.5 million, and it wasn't a very large home, a single-family home, but here's the catch. It's uninhabitable. So here's a home that is uninhabitable that sold for $2.5 million. That tells you a story about the Vancouver real estate situation. So Carlito covered that story. It was actually unoccupied for several years and taxes were not paid. And finally, the city of Vancouver put it up for auction a couple of years ago, and that was for about $1.6 million. Well, then it changed hands for $2.3 million and now $2.5 million. So that shows that the Vancouver real estate market is on steroids. And that was confirmed by a recent national look at housing markets across the country. In Vancouver, the average home price increased by 6.7% in January over January of 2020. But Vancouver's not where the prices have been going up the highest, or at least the quickest rate. That's actually been in Chilliwack, which is quite far out in the Fraser Valley. It's still in the Lower Mainland, but it's further east than Langley and Surrey and Maple Ridge. And but the home price increases in Chilliwack exceeded those in all the cities that are in the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board and in the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board. So why Chilliwack? What's the whack in Chilliwack, as Carlito Pablo was reporting? Well, here's the thing, is home prices are less expensive in Chilliwack, so you get more home for the dollar. And so that is what was attracting people to go out to Chilliwack. So those are some of the stories that are shaking in Vancouver's real estate community, Metro Vancouver's real estate community. We cover it all the time in the Georgia Straight. You can find us at www.straight.com. And I'm Charlie Smith, editor of the Georgia Straight, and thanks for watching.